Hey there, it's LJ and welcome to a new video segment which I call Stuff I Like. Well, basically, it's pretty much a show and tell video about stuff I like. In this video I'd like to talk about the Gameboy Advance. Even though I had the Game Boy Color and the OG Game Boy when I was a small kid, the handheld I truly grew up with was the Game Boy Advance. The purple one, to be exact. Back then my very first game was the Atlantis game from the Disney movie, which I actually never beat. Well, to be honest, when I was a younger kid, I've rarely beaten the games I've had. Well, I do still have my original GBA from back in the day, but it changed quite a bit. You probably know the greatest flaw of the GBA is its screen. Yep, no backlight or whatsoever. There are still plenty accessories to compensate for that, but honestly, they were all kinda trash. That's why I modded my GBA with a backlit screen, and it's brighter than ever. To be honest, the mod isn't perfect itself. It actually has some ghosting issues, which means you have these after images which can be pretty irritating while gaming. There is a LCD screen mod kit out now which looks insanely good, but it suffers from diagonal screen tearing. I'll probably get my hands on later revisions. A backlit screen or any kind of lighting would have been much appreciated back then. As you can see, I'm wearing glasses, and not because I read plenty of books when I was young. Oh no, I played way too much GBA regardless of the availability of any kind of light source. Thus my eyesight has gone really bad. I spent countless of hours on this device even though I had no proper lighting, and there is one memory I do remember pretty vividly. When I was younger, around 7-8 years old, when the very first Resident Evil movie was released on DVD, my sister and I were watching the last cartoon on the kids program, and my father just waited until it was bedtime for us children, because he and my mom wanted to watch Resident Evil. Well, we all know that the movie series is not the most faithful video game adaptation in style and quality. But I remember my father played Resident Evil 1 on the first PlayStation. Even though I don't really think that he was a crazy die-hard fan of the game series. He just liked horror movies. Nonetheless, it was time for my sister and I to go to bed. Back then we shared a room with a bunk bed, but my sister said, well, I'm going to watch the movie too. For context, you should know it was my elder sister, and she's 5 years older than me, so back then she was around 13. Well, 13 does still sound pretty young, right? It does. But my sister is just like my father, also a fan of horror, which I just cannot comprehend. In contrast, I'm the complete opposite, especially when I was younger. I got scared way too easily. That's why I was too afraid to sleep alone in the room with knowing that all my family members are watching a movie which I was too scared to watch. So we have 3 people who would like to watch Resident Evil and 1 scaredy cat that neither can sleep on his own nor watch the movie, because it was too frightening. And what do you think was the solution? Exactly. We placed the boy at the end of the living room facing the wall and playing with his GBA, while the rest watches the movie. And that's pretty much exactly what happened. So I faced the wall with a lamp on my right side and my GBA in my hands. And I did not play a GBA game. Actually, I played Pokemon Gold version. I can't recall exactly what I did back then, but I remember shouting something like, "Yeah, Pidgeotto is level 57 now," at some point to drown the sound from the movie. God. Apparently I didn't even wear headphones at that time. And my family were watching the movie facing the TV on the other side of the living room. For the most part I didn't even dare to look back because I was too afraid. But sometimes I couldn't help myself and had to peek. But I don't remember to have seen any shocking scenes. I just remember to have peeked at the scene with the corridor and the lasers. Well, after the movie ended and I had leveled up my Pokemon, my sister and I went to bed. My bed was the one on top, and even though being a passive Resident Evil movie listener was suspenseful and exciting, I got tired. And just about when I started to close my eyes and to fall asleep... Psst, hey, the movie, it started like... Well, my sister just started to retell me the whole story of the movie she watched a few minutes ago and I tried to avoid. Well, with her re-narration of the movie, the corridor scene I peeked in made much more sense. And one good thing, because I didn't really see any explicit content, I did not get any nightmares. which are the biggest reason to why I hate watching horror movies to this day. I have some examples for that, but these stories are for another time. So more or less my GBA helped me to get through the Resident Evil movie. Do you also like the GBA as much as I do? Or do you have memorable stories with the GBA? I'd like to read them in the comments below. Hey guys, so this video is no paint job video, but I just wanted to talk about the GBA. I hope you enjoyed that rambling of mine. Well, I haven't done a GBA paint job yet, so maybe I should do one, right? Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and if you like, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to release more videos. Meanwhile, you can follow me on social media, at LJM if you want. Alright then, bye!